guys, follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm driving this. This is the Tata Altroz iCNG, the only CNG hatchback in India which gets a sunroof as standard. There are 3 variants with the sunroof and there are 6 variants in total for the iCNG. But before we start, let me show you this awesome car perfume from Involve Your Senses. This is the Involve One Classic. It has a very exciting and rich Arabian out type smell. It's got saffron and expensive oils. Really makes you feel like you're in Dubai. It's super easy to regulate and it does not leak at all. Phenomenal. You can get yours with a 10% discount using coupon code FASTBEAM. Click on the top right corner of the screen. Straight away, let's open the engine bay, which is using a lever. I practiced it, still I fumble. There you can see the engine is vibrating a bit. 3-cylinder problems. Anyways, here you get insulation, of course. Washer fluid goes in right there. Engine bay actually feels kind of empty. I think the diesel will take the complete space. There's a peacock here. So quite a few Easter eggs. Rain sensor there. And the design is the same as the other Altroz. However, there are certain things which actually tell you this is the iCNG. For starters, the lights do not get any LED elements. This is the low beam. This is the high beam. This is actually the parking light when you turn on the lights. Otherwise, the DRL glows from here. Fog lights get the cornering function as well. You get this chrome line. And indicator is also placed here next to the parking light. The design actually looks nice. There's a towing hook here. I really like the way the Altroz has been designed. So Tata Motors is doing a fantastic job when it comes to the design of their cars. Coming to the side, you again don't realize this is the iCNG because only at the rear it says that. Wheel size or rather tire size happens to be 185/60/16s. Nice design of the alloy wheels. Indicator placement here on the side. Nice chrome treatment on the mirrors. Rear door handles have been hidden. It gets this 50 lakh cars in 25 years badging as well. So they are celebrating that as well. A shark fin antenna. And at the rear, you realize that this is a CNG model because it says CNG. Vocal for local is always there. This is just the badging for my particular car. iCNG written here. You get rear parking sensors, only 2 of them. Rear fog lights have been turned on. Faisal Khan's fingers of truth hunting for the exhaust, which is somewhere there. Yeah. Spare wheel is now placed below. So how do you actually remove it? There's actually a reverse parking camera here. In fact, this car actually has a usable boot for a CNG because with CNG usually the boot is completely occupied. So its main rivals of course happen to be the Baleno CNG and the Glanza CNG, which have one big fat cylinder here which is 55 litre in capacity, water capacity that is. This one is 60 litres. But there are 2 of them here, so I'm just going to open it and show it to you. Yeah, 2 cylinders placed here. Each of them can accommodate 30 litres of water capacity. So depending on the pressure, 7 to 9 kgs of CNG can be filled. So it's 5 litres water capacity bigger when compared to the Japanese rivals, of course. And here it says manually you can shut off the valve. And I think you can access things from here and there as well. So how do you actually remove the spare wheel? There is this lever here. So you have to actually use this tool. Now you can see me removing the tool and actually putting it in. This is very much like how it's done in SUVs. So Tata Motors has finally made something close to an SUV with their front wheel drive hatchback, of course. The spare wheel is not full size. In fact, it does not even get an alloy. It's 165/80/14. The car is actually running on 16 inch here. I think because of space they could not accommodate. Tata logo is placed here. The petrol model, which does not get any CNG cylinders, actually has a 345 litre boot. This one has a 210 litre boot, so the boot carrying capacity has decreased by 135 litres. But at least it's usable. In CNG cars, it's not usable, so a very bright idea from Tata Motors. One big piece seat, which is single folding, does not get the split function at all. Let's just shut this. Rear wiper washer, high mounted stop lamp. It will ring like this because the key is actually in my hand right now. To give this car a very 2-door appearance or 3-door appearance, they have actually hidden the door handles. Again, copied from the Chevrolet Beat and say the Maruti Suzuki Swift. Seats are nice in terms of quality. Center passenger does not get a head to a center passenger. You get a center armrest and space at the rear is very good, but not Baleno good as such. Legroom, knee room is good. Under thigh support is okay, not that great. Headroom seems to be almost adequate because my head is almost touching. So yeah, for tall passengers, it's not adequate enough. Hook, handle, height adjustable seat belts. There's this dummy for airbags because the iRacer was shown with 6 airbags, but Altroz only gets 2 airbags. Dashboard looks more or less the same as before. Minor changes which I'll show you. USB-A socket is here. Rear AC vents. and there is nothing here as such. The floor is almost flat, and it says you can put a bottle there. So door pockets are big enough. You notice one thing, the doors are open 90 degrees. So that is one of the USPs of this platform, that the doors open really wide. Only thing is, you need to live in a city where you can actually open the doors this wide, because usually what will happen, you will knock off someone or actually break the door because they open way too wide. It's kind of unnecessary, but still cool enough. Look at that. In fact, from the front, it makes the car look super duper wide. Like, that's a lot, the angle of the door opening. Let's just shut this. Yeah, shuts with a proper third. Some data here about the vehicle and all that, and obviously chassis number and stuff has been given here. This glove box is never aligned in an Altroz. Oh yeah, panel gaps there. Let's open the glove box. It has the peacock symbol here. Pen holder, cup holders and all that is there. It has 2 compartments. The first aid kit is super cheap, of course. This gets the cooling function as well. There's a light on the inside and there's some storage space. So the glove box is very nicely done. It says Altroz here. It has a feature which all Tata CNG cars have, even the Suzuki S. बच जा, तू पहले बच जा, फिर बात करता हूँ. हाँ, the Super Carry S CNG also has this feature wherein when you open this lid na, it will automatically turn off the car, and it also has a thermal sensor. So in case the temperature is not good and all that stuff, it will cut the CNG supply to prevent fire. And even if still there is fire, don't worry, there is a fire extinguisher which is placed here. Yeah, I don't know how easy it's going to be to remove it in case of fire, but yeah, it is gone all the way behind, down, under. There's an umbrella holder here. Faisal Khan's truth of umbrella cannot fit in here. So I'll push my umbrella and that's how it's going to hang. So it's only for like really chintu mintu invisible umbrellas, because a large umbrella like this just does not fit in there. Let's just throw our umbrella behind. Here you get a proper dead pedal. These are the controls for the lights. So in fact, this has been added, a dedicated button to lock and unlock the car. CNG button has been added, of course. Front fog, rear fog, engine start button. Door pockets are decent size. Illumination only for the driver, controls for the outside rear view mirrors. And you know what, earlier you had to open the door from here. Now thankfully we have a dedicated switch as well. Seats are really nice and comfortable. In fact, the key has a lock button, unlock button. This is for the lights and this is to open the boot of the vehicle. Nice key, I kind of like it. Why does this look like a dummy to me? Anyways, it has this nice white stitching. Now there's a place to keep this awesome car perfume from Involve Your Senses, the Involve 1 Classic. It slots in right here. Trust me, the smell is amazing. Yeah, it actually makes me feel I'm in Dubai right now. Really nice, although I'm in Goa. Sort of the same feeling though. Some storage space here which is not closed, so things might fall off. Indicator is making a lot of sound, so I'm just going to shut it for a moment. Height adjustable, has to be. Sort of a dummy button here. So there's a dummy, there's nothing here. Buttons are placed here for the audio system. The horn placement is on both the sides here. Yeah, easy to use the horn. Steering feels nice to hold. In fact, the dashboard is really attractive, but we still get the 7-inch screen. This does not get auto dimming, which is kind of disappointing. Light placement here on the top. Let's open the sunroof, but we'll not open it normally. I'll show you why. Here you get a mirror. It also tells you where the fire extinguisher position is there. And there's nothing here. I think this is for the IRA connected car bit. Probably there's a strap here. What nobody can see the faces. The wipers obviously work really well. In fact, it's got automatic wipers, it's got automatic headlights. I don't like the cluster much. It seems like an all digital unit, but you get an odo, you get twin trip meters, and that's about it. Here is telling you what is the temperature like. Fuel meter is given here. That's for the petrol, that's for the CNG, of course. And this is the rev counter. Okay, that's about it. It's telling you it's on CNG mode. So yeah, it's not very adventurous as such. It says Altroz here. Just in case you forget which car you are in, you can just push this ahead and behind. It's attached by a magnet. There's some storage space here, not very deep. Twin cup holders, handbrake here. There is no dry mode in this car, so there was the dry mode button here which has been removed. It gets a wireless charging pad, USB-A, USB-C, 12-volt charging socket, air conditioning controls, and this screen is actually nice. Let me turn it on and we'll do an audio test straight away. So 4 speakers and 4 tweeter system, sourced from Harman, of course. So this is a 7-inch screen, which is okay. It's not that great. Come on, Tata Motors, give us the 10-inch one, which you've already showcased. Here it's telling you the AQI. So it's got plenty of stuff, which I will browse through right now. Android Auto, Apple CarPlay is there. What 3-word navigation is there? Of course, it's got ambient lighting, and the ambient lighting is actually blue colored. So it comes out from here. It also comes somewhere here. The only single color, of course. They have not given multiple colors right here. It's a little fidgety to use. It's not very slick to operate. So yeah, this could be better for sure. Air purifier has been added. I'm pressing something and something else is happening. I'm saying satisfactory air quality. Start climate control to turn on air purification, which is a nice touch. And then of course we've got park assist, which I will use while driving the car. Let's listen to an audio track right now. Audio quality is actually quite nice. I shut this. Okay, there are themes, the three of them, Zing, Zeal and User. So you can change the color. So right now it is obviously red. I can decide if I want it to be blue. There it turns on to blue. So yeah, it's a decent thing, but it's not very slick as such. And then let me get into reverse. So this is the reverse parking camera, which gets guidelines, which are adaptive of course. Now it has got voice commands. So I'm just going to use them. Sunroof kholo.
Okay, sunroof khol rahe hain.
Yeah, so it basically has voice commands for the sunroof, both in English and Hindi. That's amazing. So sunroof opens decently big, and notice one thing now, when I'm shutting this now, this thing will also come ahead a bit. Yeah, there it comes ahead. So this is obviously manual. Quality levels are good actually. You've got tweeters on the A-pillar, you've got tweeters here as well. And the car does feel nicely put together, and only minor changes for the CNG model. But yes, the Altroz is a car which is available in CNG, petrol, diesel. So yeah, Tata Motors is offering a lot of options. This is blank because there are no 6 airbags here. Anyways, let's start driving right away. Alright, we are all set to go. We are going to turn on the car on CNG mode itself. Is there a clutch lock? Why is it not turning on? Hyundai ka ad aa raha hai. Wow. No, there's a clutch lock. Unless and until I don't press the clutch, it's not going to turn on. And the car is on right now. There are a lot of warning lights which are there. CNG mode active, so it can be turned on CNG. By the way, there's no request sensor on the left side. It's only there on the right side. So their cost cutting is there. And in the boot, there are actually hooks on both the sides which can take 3 kgs each, along with lights on both sides as well. And there's some warnings here and there written almost everywhere in this car. Anyways, we are on in CNG mode. First things first, I am actually going to turn on the camera, the rear camera. So here park assist is turned on. Handbrake down into first gear, and I have intentionally not closed the door completely. Like, it's not completely closed because it has these voice commands, so probably we can hear that. Maybe with the camera on, it will not say it. That it's auto.
Door open, please check.
Thank you, lady. Thank you. If you have not told me, I don't know, I would have driven with the door, window, everything open. Imagine having 90-degree opening door and that tree nearby, what is going to happen. So we are going to actually launch it in sport mode. So there are no drive modes, but there's actually a sport mode, because when you turn off the CNG, then you come into sport mode, because then you've got a lot more power and torque. It's time to launch this car. We are on a slope, so I'm going to heel and toe. Revving the motor, revs till 4,500 RPM and off we go. Oh my god, I don't think there's traction control. The whole chassis shook. 6,000 RPM red line, and there wheel spin on upshift as well. Oh my goodness, performance is really very nice when you drive it in petrol mode. Yeah, this engine is not great, but trust me, when you get into petrol mode, it feels so much better. The gearbox is fine. Yeah, the clutch actually has no feel only. Body control is actually good enough here. And another corner, let's see how does it behave. Yeah, body movement is actually nice. So yeah, there is body roll, but it is well contained here. And then the steering is also quite nice. So it is actually a very fun car to drive because of the chassis. And in diesel, obviously it's way better. Petrol engine is not that good. This is a 1.2 liter 3-cylinder petrol engine, which is actually, what is rolling around? Some noises coming from somewhere. Anyways, yeah, this is a 1.2 liter 3-cylinder petrol engine which has vibrations in the top end. At low speed, it's very refined. It's quite smooth as such, but then when you push it in the higher end of the rev range, it makes some sound. And I don't know what kind of road this is, but it's a good opportunity to actually test the ride of this car. So yeah, ride is absolutely fantastic here. This is the Alpha architecture. Alpha stands for agile, L is for lightweight, F is for flexible, and A is for advanced. So that is the Alpha architecture, which has 90-degree opening doors. Now, of course, we are going to shift on the fly to CNG. So right now I'm in CNG mode. It gets activated like this, and I can definitely feel a drop in performance. So in petrol mode, it produces 88 PS of power, which comes in at, let me overtake first. Yeah, 88 PS of power, which comes in at 6,000 RPM. Yeah, 6,000 RPM. Even in CNG mode, peak power comes in at 6,000 RPM. We're going to launch in first gear. Let's see if there's any wheel spin. Oh, little bit of wheel spin. Not bad at all. Yeah, performance is actually decent. Will get the job done because it has got decent amount of grunt low in the low end. So part throttle response is good. 88 PS of power in petrol, 73.5 PS of power in CNG at 6000 RPM. And what is rolling? There's some sound which is coming. Yeah, suspension is a bit noisy, so it does crash through here and there, so you can hear that sound. So performance obviously drops in CNG mode, power also drops in CNG mode, torque also drops in CNG mode, because in petrol mode the torque output is 115 Newton meters. When you get into CNG mode, that torque drops to 103 Newton meters. This same engine is actually used in the Tiago CNG as well, wherein it produces 73 PS of power. So yeah, power is also decreased by 0.5 PS, which is not much. Nobody would really care about it. There is something somewhere which is making sound. Yeah, so things are not properly slotted into place somehow. And the torque output of the Tiago is 95 Newton meters, so 8 Newton meters lesser than this car. This is obviously more on the heavier side, of course, because it's a bigger car, so more weight as such. Most people will not complain about the performance. If you're enthusiastic, you will really complain about the vibrations which the car has in the higher end of the rev range. Braking performance is not that great because it has this nosedive under heavy braking, slight nosedive, plus the tires also screech. Although tires are decent in terms of width, the grip levels are not that great, and I don't like the way the clutch is, because there's not a definitive bite point when the clutch engages, so it's very soulless. I don't know how can a clutch be soulless, but it's soulless here. So people will not complain about the performance. It gets very vocal in the top end of the rev range. You don't have to go there as such. Obviously, if you want to make quick overtakes on the highway, you have to really ring open the throttle. The Altroz petrol definitely gets drive mode, so there is a button here for eco mode, I think, and when you turn it off, it comes into city mode. So that is also very useful. But CNG itself, the eco mode, so you have to press that button if you want to change the drive mode, I would say, because petrol is now becoming the sport mode here. Now it can take approximately 7 to 9 kgs of CNG, and the mileage has not been revealed, but I think it will be around 30 kilometers per kg, which is usually the norm with CNG cars. Like the Baleno does something similar, so obviously Tata will be slightly lower because of the added weight and less efficiency of this particular engine. Can you hear the sound? It is quite vocal, and then you can hear the gearbox as well. So things could be slightly smoother in terms of the gear shifts, in terms of the way the engine sounds at higher end of the rev range. There's nothing in the high end, and then the tachometer is also not that great, so you can't really see much there. Now the Baleno and the Glanza in CNG guys produce slightly more power, of course. I think around 77 PS of power, and the torque output is lesser at 98.5 Newton meters, but obviously that engine is amazing. That's 4 cylinders, this is 3 cylinders, and 3 cylinder obviously has that thrum in the higher end of the rev range, which you have to contend with. The horn is actually nice. It could be better still. Okay, let's do the wiper test. Automatic wipers, so many features have been given in this car. All they need to do is now probably get a better 1.2 liter engine, which is not 3 cylinder. Get a 4 cylinder petrol engine. Now that would be so amazing in this car. So people looking for cheap running cost with the practicality which a petrol model offers, which the CNG robs, will definitely like this car, because Tata Motors has really done a great job of actually concealing the tanks below, and now I think it's a great opportunity to launch. So we're launching in CNG mode here, revving the motor. Oh, rev still 5000 RPM. Good launch in CNG as well. The tachometer only blinks, or rather the number blinks red when it's 6000 RPM. That's about it. So I think the engine actually suits the CNG quite well. So I think people will definitely buy it at a premium of around 85,000-90,000 is what you will have to shell out to get the CNG over the petrol model as well. So I think that's a decent amount to spend. I mean, decent amount to spend to get this version with a CNG box. But honestly, what am I saying? CNG box is not a box. CNG tanks. But I would just say pay around 1.5 lakhs more probably and get the diesel, because the diesel is a diesel. Third gear may not always make sound. So diesel is just a better option to get, because the Altroz is obviously available with a diesel engine as well, and the diesel is much more torquey. Diesel engine is way better because the petrol is not that great. It's very average, this engine. And with CNG, obviously you're expected to drive a little aram se, because you don't want to go ahead searching for places to fill CNG, right? That's a big problem with CNG. The CNG filling stations are few as compared to petrol stations or diesel stations or fuel pumps. And the other issue is that there's a huge line when you go to fill CNG, which means that it can take quite the time. Then you will be driving on petrol, and then petrol obviously drinks a lot here comparatively compared to CNG, of course, because CNG is much more efficient in terms of the running costs. So you have to decide what do you want at the end of the day? Yeah, I like the way the steering is so nicely calibrated. This platform is fantastic. It's very nicely done. Where am I going? Probably to eat some fish. Okay, nothing fishy here. I didn't have any fish. Anyways, let's get out from here. Thing is that steering is really very light at low speed, and somehow it does weigh up, so the car does not feel hairy or out of balance ever. By the way, there's a tire puncture repair kit in the boot, which not needed because it has a proper spare wheel, but still Tata Motors is like, no, we will offer that as well. So that's kind of cool and nice. Camera quality could be better. Yeah, it's a bit not that clear, the camera here. I think we've kind of have a jam here because of the narrow roads in Goa. So I'm enjoying reversing this car. By the way, I had told you that the diesel is around 1.5 lakhs more. Now, actually, right now when I calculated, it's around 97,000 more. But the diesel has not got a sunroof, and they are charging around rupees 60,000 as a premium for the sunroof. So overall difference would come to around 1.6 lakhs between the CNG and the diesel, of course. Hopefully the diesel also gets the sunroof soon, and I'm waiting when it's going to get the 10-inch infotainment screen, because that's something this car definitely needs. It has got 5-star rating from Global NCAP, of course, in terms of safety. It's a fantastic car, but that was under the older protocol. I don't think in the newer protocol it will perform that well rather, because unless and until they do not offer this car with 6 airbags, don't expect things to be as good. And they have like 29 variants on offer. That's absolutely insane, and that's the reason CNG like having 6 variants, plus it's got dual clutch automatic, it's got petrol, it's got diesel. It's like insane amount of variants of the Altroz. That's the reason why it starts 80,000 lesser than the Baleno CNG, this particular car. But the top end variant obviously has more features because the Baleno does not get a sunroof, and the top end variant difference is around 1.2 lakhs. So you pay 1.2 lakhs more for the Altroz when compared to the Baleno, purely because this car is having a sunroof, and sunroof premium, like I told you, is 60,000 itself. Gearbox is fine. They should probably give it with an AMT as well. That would be nice. Now, CNG guys do not deserve the convenience or of ease of driving. Ground clearance is 165. Didi, kya kar rahe ho? Ground clearance is 165 mm, which is decent. The car will not really touch and all anyway, so you don't have a problem on that front. And this car comes with a 3-year warranty, 1 lakh kilometers. So Tata Motors has definitely copied Toyota there by giving such a warranty on this car. And this tank capacity is similar to the one on the Tiago CNG, but Tiago has one big fat tank. I don't think the length of the boot of the Tiago is that much that they can put 30-liter tanks below one after another. So probably they should think of giving Chintu-Mintu tanks here and there to make it much more practical, that car. So the price range starts at 8.58 lakhs, goes all the way to 12.15 lakhs for the top end variant. So that's a nice and wide price range for the CNG version of the Altroz. And my personal favorite has to be the diesel. I really love the diesel. Probably if they give a diesel automatic now, it's going to just rob away sales in the segment, because the Altroz is the only car in the segment which actually gets a diesel engine. Everybody has discontinued it. I don't understand why Hyundai has done it, because it makes no sense at all. They have the same engine powering the Creta, the Venue, the Alcazar, and almost every other car of theirs, thankfully not the Tucson. So they can easily use that engine in other cars as well, especially the i20 and probably the i10 as well. The i10 never got that engine though. That would be so awesome. You can hear the engine, but trust me, Tata Motors has made a lot of improvements, and the performance in CNG is not bad at all. Like, overall the engine performance is average of the petrol, but with the CNG it doesn't become bad. It's still average only, which gets the job done, and that's the reason why this car will definitely sell. So guys, this is my vlog of the Tata Altroz iCNG. If you liked it, make sure to give it a thumbs up, that's the like button, and also subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next video real soon, and don't forget to check out this awesome car perfume from Involve Your Senses. This is the Involve One Classic, and you can get yours with a 10% discount using coupon code FASBEAM. खरीद लो यार, बहुत सही परफ्यूम है. जो स्मेल है ना, मजा आ जाता है. हाँ, लाइट मारा, मैं भी मारूंगा, पर मैंने वाइपर मार दिया गलती से. आदत है ना ड्राइविंग सम अदर टाइप ऑफ कार्स व्हिच हैव दिस ऑन द अदर साइड. Forgot to tell you this awesome feature.
Express cooling on.
Yeah.
Express cooling off. Normal cooling mode on.
Amazing stuff. Now, yeah, Tata Motors really thinks out of the box at times. This vlog is over. What are you guys doing?